Mm-hmm.
Okay, this time we didn't start with heavy breathing. We started with a slurp. But that's what we do here at the Great Northern Sex Cast. Hey, everybody. Kelly Guest with you.
Colleen Bertino.
And Michael Radke.
The crew is in the house. Guys, we just have to start this fabulous show with we got a fan letter this week. I mean, that was absolutely the coolest message on Facebook. And the neatest thing is this wonderful young lady named Jenny, who wrote us a great note, found us on iHeart.
Mm-hmm.
So just randomly, and she happens to live in the Twin Cities. Mm-hmm. So pretty cool.
No, I went away for the weekend down to Fort Myers to watch a little baseball and have some fun. And it was late at night, and I see this thing pop up, and I look at it, and I'm just like, holy crap. I got all melty.
People are listening to us.
I sit over there, and I'm like, oh, it's a nice. So in fact, I typed a response so fast, there's a glaring grammatical error in there, and I feel like sort of an idiot. I really wish there were some places that you could go back and edit.
I know.
And so, no, thank you so much. It was the sweetest
exciting.
note, and I immediately shared it with everyone, and or almost everyone. Like I said, I was trying to get stuff done before I went out of town, but I was just so. If you're listening, thank you so much. It meant a lot. It was a lot of fun, and it made us all squishy.
It did.
It did.
And I put a post up on the Great Northern Sex Cast Facebook page last night, calling out Jenny, telling her we were going to talk about this today. So hopefully she will find that and know that we gave her a little tribute here within this week's show. March 8th, guys.
Nice.
I mean, we're like a week and 2 days out from St. Pat's Day.
Yeah.
Ooh. Any big plans coming up?
I do. On St. Patrick's Day, I actually am going to the Mayo Clinic in Rochester.
Okay.
Yay.
Is
I'm
anything
actually
turning
excited.
green and falling
No,
off?
no,
or
I don't
what?
have that issue. I've had a problem for 45 years now. When I was born, I had they pulled me out with the forceps. It hit me in the eye. It took out all my muscles.
Oh
So
my gosh,
they
okay.
are actually going to hopefully fix my eye.
You're kidding.
They're going to do a consultation on St. Patty's Day. I'm going to go down and stay the night there. An all-day appointment. So there's a good chance. Yeah, that's one doctor I was supposed to see. He has like a 9-month waiting list. They got me within a month.
Okay, so would what you have be considered a lazy eye?
It is, but there's no random. Since I only have 4 muscles where the normal eye is 6 muscles, plus the 4 muscles I have are shortened, so it doesn't look down, doesn't look up.
Okay, but you can see, right?
I can barely see. It's
Out of that
pretty
thing.
much not formed because my right eye takes over a lot.
Sure.
And it has all my life. So I'm getting better now that I'm wearing glasses.
Yeah.
I can see signs.
That's huge. That's big.
I'm a driver for Fantasy Gifts.
Yeah,
you want me to
yes,
see.
if you had the wheel. So I like to see that.
Yeah.
You know, it's weird. Okay, bizarre health issues of the Great Northern Sex Cast crew, but like I know what you mean about the right eye compensating because I was born, or I had an illness when I was like 9 months old, and I had middle ear damage. So I've been deaf in my right ear my entire life. So my left ear is very dominant. And so what would be a normal sound to someone on my left ear, I hit the ceiling because I'm like so sensitive.
I know.
You know, so congratulations.
That's the same way with me. Like if I'll walk in the warehouse in the morning, it's completely dark. I'll close my right eye, which I can see 20 out of, but then I can see objects and shapes out of my left eye because it's more apt to seeing in the dark.
It's
weird.
because
It's like you're a permanent pirate.
I am.
I've heard that the reason they actually wore a patch not was because they lost an eye, because if you had to go above deck, below deck, above deck, below deck, you needed eyes that were
Adjustable,
so you could just move the patch.
That's funny.
So now I can see in the dark in one eye, so I might have to screwing that up with my medical procedure, but I'm hoping that it goes for 45 years. You know, I was talking to a lady on the phone to set up this appointment, and she almost got teary-eyed because I told her my whole story. She's like, "Oh my God, let's make this happen." Like,
That is
I agree.
fantastic.
Let's make this happen.
Aw.
St. Patty's Day for me. I mean, my first name is Colleen, but that's the only Irish thing about me. So I don't worry about St. Patty's Day very much. But it tends to be a reasonable day out at the stores. People like to celebrate St. Patty's Day with a lot of sex, in addition to obviously green beer and corned beef and cabbage. Okay, so we're in Fort Myers, and we're driving down, and I see this large, it's called Asian buffet. But on St. Patrick's Day, they're having a corned beef special.
Oh God, corned beef wontons. I mean, what?
And it just made us giggle, and then we're also and the same drive we're going down, and I want to try because I went shopping and I had to carry a delicate thing on the airplane, so I had to check my bag. But I didn't bring anything to lock the bag with, so I have to stop at Walgreens. Get there too late, but we look up and it still has like 1 hour photo, 24 exposure. We're like, what decade did they put this sign up?
Oh my
You don't
God.
even sell film anymore, but obviously, the sign, it still says Walgreens. So, why change
It's
it?
for those rolls you find in your junk drawer from years and years ago. You want to find, somebody's got to, develop them.
I know.
That just made it. We're like, does that really say that? It was really.
It shocked me. On that same note, I walked into a Walgreens recently and was shocked at how much retail space was dedicated still to a photo processing area. Where I'm like, seriously, do enough people really come in here to do this? Like, what?
Yeah, I'm not even sure that they sell film or have film, but I think folks do go into they buy like photo cards and you can sit down and do all that. So if you're not doing it online, you can go in there and do it. But another thing I noticed is that obviously a lot more people in Florida smoke than Minnesota,
Really?
because behind the counter there was like 12 feet of cigarettes. I'm sure there's probably only about 4 or 5 feet of cigarettes at a Walgreens in Minnesota.
Wow, okay.
And there were brands that I hadn't seen in years.
Well, they're close to the tobacco fields. When I lived in North Carolina when I was younger, my mother used to work on the tobacco fields.
No kidding.
Yeah, and she used to go pick tobacco.
Wow.
But
I always thought, maybe I should smoke now.
Support the cause. Well, just, and kind of, I just want to let everybody know, besides Facebook, the Great Northern Sexcast Facebook page, find us on iHeartRadio. You can also find us on the Alive and Social Network page, which is awesome. Hey, okay, so I don't know about if you guys, I don't know. I'm going through a phase where I have a lot of strange dreams lately. Some of them are nightmares, but a lot of times it's just strange dreams. And usually I do dream about the shows the night before, because I've been working on them and it's kind of in my consciousness or whatever. 2 nights ago, Michael, you were there.
Oh, God.
But Colleen, what was so weird is
Okay.
you weren't, okay? And I spend this whole dream trying to find you, but in your place, you guys are not going to believe this, was Valerie Harper. Okay, and I'm like, but you're not Colleen. And I'm like, I know you were like Rhoda, but you were not freaking Colleen. And so she's like, what's the problem? Like, why are you having, and Michael acts like absolutely nothing's wrong. And I'm like, hello, does anybody else not get it? And you know how that is when you're like the only one in the dream that realizes that something is wrong and you're trying to explain it.
Valerie Harper, I can deal with that.
And then at some
I can
point,
go with that.
But then at some point, and I have no idea how she got into my brain because, she's been battling cancer, for quite some time, hasn't really done anything. And it's not like, I was always pretty neutral on her. She seems like a nice lady. I don't know.
Right.
Not really an opinion. I mean, she's there. That's good.
Yeah. But it's, at one point I have to stop the show. And even that one of the techs from ANS Network was in the dream with me, and he's following me around because we're like we're like on location, but we're wandering around, and she takes off. And I'm like, we've got to find Valerie Harper. And he's like, who's Valerie Harper? Because he's like too young to know. And I mean, the whole thing. And I woke up exhausted.
I can imagine.
Trying to find Colleen. And then Valerie Harper came back and she's like, yeah, I got nervous and decided I wasn't sure if I wanted to be on the podcast, but I'm back. I'm like, this is mayhem, people.
Oh.
I would love to. I think Valerie Harper would make a really good podcast guest, but I'm just giggling over that.
I know. I have no idea what that was about. But do you guys ever have like just a freak ass dream and then wake up the next day and start Googling stuff that you saw? Do you ever do that?
I have dreams in which I'm doing ordinary things like laundry, grocery shopping.
Are you
cleaning
serious?
my house, and it's in real time. So I swear I wake up more exhausted.
Oh, yeah.
After sleeping. I mean, I would like it. No, really, I couldn't have a real life sex dream or real life anything else. No. I dream about doing laundry. I have a problem.
See, I'm sorry to hear that because every once in a while, I will tell you, and this is a freaky thing, and I know guys, this is well documented, but I have actually had an orgasm in a dream that's awakened me. And I'm like, oh,
Yeah,
oh.
I've had a few of those. We call wet dreams.
Yeah, I know. It's a
It's
guy
like I
thing.
wake up, I'm like, what's going on? Why am I all wet? I was like, oh, I don't even remember the dream, but it must have been a good time.
Well, awesome. Good for me.
But
I'm jealous.
Yeah.
Because I don't. I mean, really, I like wash dishes in my dreams.
do laundry.
Colleen,
my
that's
Even
just tragic.
dreams.
Very, very, very bad.
I must have good dreams. Eric tells me I moan and I groan in my bed and sleeping, and I wake him up, and it must be good, but I don't remember any of my dreams. I'm like, God, I wish I would remember. I'd start making some stories.
Right? A little homegrown erotica.
That's right.
Well, guys, I know that Meg put this up on the Great Northern Sex Cast page yesterday. The big win for Erin Andrews. We talked about her situation when the trial was going on last week. $55 million against, and most of that was found against, it was split between actually Marriott and then the individual operator of the Marriott franchise in Nashville where this occurred. I just want to take a poll around the table. What do you guys think of this verdict?
Well, I do believe that she was wronged. I do believe that she was a victim. I didn't read enough of it, and we can go back about how exactly. I mean, obviously Marriott has the pockets, so you're gonna go after that, and it's going through there. But it sounds like, from what I read, that if someone's ask, I want to be here, I want to do this. I mean, it should set off some alarm bells.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm thinking. And the idea that the defense said that this helped her career is the most appalling. I mean, that's the most appalling thing I've ever read in my life. It actually made me a little nauseous.
You know what's really sad, though, about that is she is earning more than she was now because she's got Dancing with the Stars and all of that kind of stuff. I do not condone what happened to her, and I'm not taking anything away from her as a talent or anything else, and this will never leave her. There's and did you know that the guy, the operator of the individual Marriott, was it was brought up in court that he was sitting at dinner playing the video for his friends that he was out to dinner with.
I heard something like that.
It's like, dude, really?
That's just a slap
This happened
in
in
the
your
face.
hotel?
Yeah, they've got to figure out a way to and I don't know, because computers are math, and math can be, it's difficult to do. Not that math is difficult, but when you get to a certain level, there's stuff going through there. But they've got to figure out a way to shut these things down online, whether that's possible with stuff out there, because someone could have downloaded it and they just have it on their phone. So how do you prosecute that person?
Yeah.
But you need to be able to, the major players. I mean, I don't know if it was on. I'm not even going to name names because I don't know, but you guys know that there's all sorts of clickbait sites out there. If that ended up on there, they should be culpable too. I mean, but certainly the laws have not made up, caught up with it. I know that Minnesota is going to try and bring up some revenge porn laws because there isn't anything on the books that covers this.
Yeah.
And no, it has nothing to do with you can't yell fire in a theater and all that sort of stuff. You should not be able to post something online of someone who has not given you your permission.
And there's got to be, I mean, a quote unquote cleaning service on the horizon. But then again, that makes me wonder if, in order to do that, how much tracking of us will they actually be doing, and that's scary too. That gets into the real big brother crap too. But I mean, congratulations. I just sincerely hope, and I don't think it was about the money for her, because who knows how much she'll really end up getting after the appeals court, tosses it around, the lawyers take their share. And I don't think she did it for the money. But I want her to go after ESPN. I really sincerely do. I think.
She was assaulted a second time.
Yeah. So we touched on the Oscars a little bit last week, and then I found this later, and I am sorry, this is hysterically funny. And Megan's got all of this, so you'll be able to. I love our Facebook page. It's like a sort of a scrapbook of every show. She kind of puts everything up so you can see what we're talking about or whatever. But Vajayjaygate out of Australia. Have you guys heard about this?
This one I missed.
The vagina dress. I missed it too until Monday of this week. It was a broadcaster from Australia, and she's beautiful. I mean, she's absolutely, absolutely hot. Her name is Edwina Bartholomew, and she's on a show called Sunrise there. And the dress is really cool, but this accent piece, it's on her hip, okay, and it looks like a vagina. I mean, it looks like
so. It's like it's like ruffles or a
flower,
ruffled flower, some sort of embellishment.
Yeah, and it's sort of a pearl gray, shiny dress. But I mean, whatever. And she said, "Well, I know I'm not the only one thinking about this." She goes, "It looks like a loose vag on my dress, but I wore it anyway." And she said,
"Okay." Michael just brought up the picture.
Do you like it?
And I'm like, "Yeah, pretty much."
I mean, it does look like one. I mean, it's otherwise a cool dress, but it's like it doesn't need that.
It doesn't need that accent, no.
If it had been all filled in or stitched or something, but it's pretty keeping.
Yeah.
Her boyfriend's tweet is my favorite part of the story, though.
Oh, okay.
My girlfriend's vagina is trending #1 on Google right now.
Good thing it's not pink.
Right, yes, that's very true. I thought that was pretty damn funny.
But it is a pretty dress. I like
she's
that.
adorable.
Yeah,
I mean,
she is. And now she's got a vagina on her
Yeah, but
skirt.
actually smart. She thought of it beforehand, wore it anyway. And for this very reason, guess what? She's going to be getting phone calls.
Yeah, and it's a completely modest dress. I mean, it comes all the way up to the neck. It's long sleeve.
It just has
There's
a vagina
longer
on it.
version of it. Yeah.
It just
That's
has
one accent that could have been left off. I think the dress would have been just as beautiful without that.
Yeah,
The JJ part.
But she's not. She wouldn't have been trending.
Yeah, exactly. Now she's got a trend.
She just giggled. She's like, "Oh hell, I'm wearing this."
Right not.
Oh, for sure. And actually, that was smart. But see, okay, the difference between her and Erin Andrews is it was a choice. And it was conscious, and it was she was a willing participant, and so whatever. Next up, you probably saw this on the outline that I sent out every day. The news story entitled "Katie's Crotch." Anyone care to venture a guess of what that about? And if you already know, no fair cheating.
I have. I tried desperately not to play around on my phone the past 4 days, so I did miss a few things.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this one, I don't know. Is it Katie Holmes?
No.
Nope.
Katie Couric?
No. This is what makes it so absolutely hysterically funny. It's a town in Maine that has this road, Katie Crotch Road, and the signs keep getting stolen.
I heard about that on the radio yesterday.
So they're trying to. They have to vote. They voted back in 2012 not to change the name to just Katie Road, but now they're going to vote on whether to rename it CADIE Road because these are kind of expensive signs.
Yeah.
They're not cheap because they have to be reflective and you got to order them through the state agency and all that kind of stuff. And nobody seems to know how this road got named that.
Yeah, no, they have in I think it's in Colorado. The highway there, it's not 420. It's 499 and 9/10 because people kept stealing the 420 road sign.
Oh God. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Because so if anything is a reference, I mean, whether it's a weed reference or a crotch reference, that sign's gone.
Yep.
Oh, for sure. Well, did you guys know there's a town called Fucking in Australia? Fucking Australia. I'm from fucking Australia, mate.
Maybe that's why they did that.
I think that's hysterically funny. And Shitterton, England.
Oh, there's a bunch of names out there, and folks just said, no, it's our name. I mean, and as long as it's, I mean, there are some things out there that need to be changed, like Squaw Lake. That's it. You change that, but some of the other stuff, if it's in general and it's not denigrating, an entire race of human beings, go for it.
Yeah, there's a place in the Caribbean because we usually go in the Caribbean, and there's a place called Hell. So Eric got a T-shirt. I went to Hell.
Yeah, there's a Michigan town called Hell. Hell, Michigan. Yeah. Yeah, kind of interesting. The author in this story made me laugh, though. The last line, it says, sure, Katie Crotch Road is funny when you see it in the street, but is it really so hilarious hanging totally out of context on your wall? Yes, I think it is.
Yeah.
I'll vote yes on that one.
Yeah.
Unless you're Katie.
Not that I want
Katie.
to, encourage the stealing of the road signs, but yeah, there's a reason it's being stolen.
That's funny.
It's
Okay, so this one just made me laugh. This is Greenville. I think it's South Carolina here. Little kid. Well, they got a phone call, a 911 call. And her grandpa was trying to help her put on her pants. And he was not moving as quickly as she wanted to. And so she ended up with one leg in the pants and the other leg inside out, and she couldn't fix it. So her mom had taught her to call 911 in an emergency. So she called 911. And the cops didn't really know so they thought, well, we'll just send somebody to check it out. And it's really the cutest picture ever. The cop happens to be this very pretty young female officer, and there's a picture of her hugging the little girl, and nobody got in any trouble. And the dad's calling the mom at work saying, your kid just called 911 on me and reported me to the police because I couldn't get her pants on right. And they were checking to make sure it wasn't molestation. But, I mean, it ended up fine, and nobody else that was in real danger ended up being, left out because of this side call or whatever, but it's just kind of one of those cute stories. We'll have to put that picture up on the page because it's just so cute.
Well, pants can be difficult.
And
Hey,
how old was she?
2.
Oh.
And it was a fashion emergency.
Of course.
But the kid, I mean, she's going to be she's going to have a penchant for drama, this one.
Yeah.
911. I can't have my pants on. we love penis clouds. We love any sort of naturally occurring sexual organs around here. And so the flock use story comes from Central Valley, California, and this is a flock of birds and a penis. And I mean, it goes all the way from the tip. You got a shaft, and it's got balls. It looks freestanding, and it's these birds. And it's just a highly, highly unusual shot. This wildlife photographer was out there, and he goes, "You don't see this. It's pretty freaking cool."
It's pretty convenient, you know.
Well, it's quite when my which was it? One of my nephews was very young. My sister lives in a fairly wooded area, and there's a lot of mulch in the yard and this and that. So she had mushrooms growing, and one of them grew into the perfect testicles, penis, even the little vein ridge on the top.
No kidding.
And my sister is dying of laughter. She's trying desperately to get a picture of it because her kid's out there with a hockey stick smooshing all the mushrooms in the yard. She's like, I gotta get a picture.
Wait. Yeah.
Oh God, it's hysterical. It was just, it's just funny.
Anytime I see any sort of sexual organ based looking vegetable in the grocery store, I buy it. And I take pictures and use them for various and sundry purposes. We're humans. We're
especially Americans, and we find penis things funny.
I do too. You know, we're busy with Australia this year. We've got, or this week, I should say. This is a funny freaking video, and we will be able to post this on Facebook because it's actually not sexual. But the story title, "Snake in Public." This guy, you guys, he's got now the name cracks me up, a carpet python, which makes me think, is it a carpet muncher? I don't know. But a carpet python, he's out there in the water swimming with his python. So he's taken this giant snake and tossing it, and then the snake would swim back to him, and it's tossing it. So it gets out there on a video. This local musician who goes by Indiana Bones took a video. He's like, "Hey, how pretty cool! This is impressive." Well, it caught the basically the attention of the Royal Society for Prevention of Cruelty to Animals, and they're looking at this as abuse, and he's being investigated. The owner is like, "Oh, no, we were just having a play, right?"
Yeah.
They're like, "Dude, the snake is not swimming back to you because he likes you and he's having fun. He's trying to get out of the water." So I don't know how this one's going to end up, but I mean, there are swimming snakes, so I don't know. What do you guys think?
I don't know. First of all, you say that he had like the snake in his pants.
No,
No,
that was last week with the turtles.
I don't know. I'm just gonna look this going through there. I'm pretty sure that most things don't like being thrown.
No.
Well, let's just go for that. I just can't. I mean, would you take like your Labrador and launch it into a lake and let it swim?
Or even a cat, because
Okay.
cats don't like water. So that would
I
be
don't-
cruelty if you threw your cat in the water and it swam back because it's trying fiercely. Because I know water moccasins belong in the water, but you ain't gonna go 5 feet near that thing.
Yeah, well, it's funny. My friend in Arizona's husband does fling their cats, but they love it. They've got these ledges in their house, and Paul has it perfectly down to where he can fling a cat, and they love going up there.
Yeah.
I'm like, the first time I saw him do it, I was absolutely horrified. But they've got 5 rescue pets. Okay, so these are serious animal people. I'm like, what did you just do? Can he get down? And the cat's like, jumps over to the fridge over here.
Oh, yeah,
it's
they
like they
know.
have a blast.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But they're not flinging them in the water or in a lake or anything.
True. Carpet python. Why is that funny? I'm gonna have to be searching my house now for carpet pythons. Now I'm nervous. Okay. You guys. Wait. Nope. I put my things. Okay. So there's 5 sex toys you need for incredible orgasms, and I wanted you guys to give me. And these were just general descriptions online that I found. And I want you guys to give me some actual names of stuff from Fantasy Gifts for this. The first number one. By this online sex writer / toy reviewer, suggested a bed bondage system.
Yeah.
Sport sheets.
Sport sheets, yes.
Yep.
Talk about those for just a minute, guys. What are they?
Well, we carry it,
Yes.
and it's a very good seller. Not everybody has bedpost. If you want to practice bed down. So this is a set of straps that goes under your bed and comes up, and then you can attach. And then is it D-rings?
I think it's D-rings.
Yeah.
And they do have some, I think, that were Velcro. as
Velcro and a
well.
couple different things, so you can attach your restraints to them. So it is a
More convenient way to be strapped down.
it's a great sell. We sell them. We
And
sell
then you're
tons
still
of them.
not, you're not like handcuffed to the bedpost, so you're not stuck there in case of an emergency or anything. You can just, undo your, C-rings or your Velcro or whatever. But it was a really big seller. And Sportsheet came up with a really great, way of doing it and making it.
This is gaining in popularity, I'm assuming, because of 50 Shades of Grey, giving it a major lift.
It could have been. But I mean, honestly, we sold. Just pallets of this stuff even before 50 Shades.
Yeah. Really?
We really did.
Good. Okay.
Yeah,
Next one was a magic wand.
Yes.
Yep, sells like crazy.
Okay,
It's
so
the body wand.
Yeah, body wands, magic
It's
wands,
great
stuff
for
like
muscles. We have attachments that you can use it for, pleasure as well. But I actually have a body wand for my sore neck, and
that. It is something that can be that honestly can be used in a non-sexual way
Exactly.
too, without laughing at it.
Yes.
we actually have that stuff. Okay. The next one was a clit stimulator.
Well,
There's any number of those, right?
yeah, your right hand is a clit stimulator, but
Low tech.
No, but a lot of the items we separated there because if you've got a vibrator that has an extra attachment like a rabbit vibe, that's popular about that. Sometimes if you're considering just an outie vibrator like a bullet or something like that, it's
or even
made,
a finger vibe.
it's
Turn
made,
your finger into a vibration. It's amazing.
It's made for that.
Cool. Okay, the next one, and I think it's funny that this particular thing has developed into an entire. It's almost like Xerox, being a copier thing. The rabbit is now a category. It's not just what have you. So I thought that was interesting. And then the last one was an anal massager. So tell me about that. Which ones and how many there are?
Oh, well, there's hundreds of them. There's anal and then there's prostate because you can have just your basic anal plug. It's going to be one. Got to have a base. We say that all the time, but it usually is tapered at the end, and then the thickness of the bulb area, that
varies
keeps
in
it
size
varies
as
in
well.
size. An anal, a prostate stimulator is going to be a little bit more C-shaped.
Yeah, it's kind of like a G-spot toy for men. It has a cute little angle at it, so when you go in there, it angles right towards your P-spot. We call it P-spot prostate, and that does just like your G-spot. It just makes things wilder, more more bigger orgasms. It's incredible.
Okay,
When I found that spot, I'm like, oh, go back there. Go back.
Well, and you can get them vibrating or non-vibrating. Not everybody wants vibration. Some people just want the extra reach of a toy.
Okay,
It's going through there. There's not everything has to have batteries or plug in or charge off your computer.
Right.
Do it that way.
yeah, very.
There's
Actually,
manual
now
toys
that I think
still.
about that.
We call them manual toys. You just do the work. A little extra work than the vibration normally. I always stick with the vibration.
Very cool. I found an article. I don't want to go through it on the show, but I sent the link to Megan to put on our on the Facebook page because it was sexual don'ts, and it was interesting reading. But I really would love for our online fans and whatnot to kind of go through this, and I would love to get some opinions back, agree or disagree on this. Okay, so I just wanted to throw that out there. And Colleen, why don't you talk about our little sponsor, Audible, today?
It's just so much fun having a sponsor.
I know.
And especially for something that involves reading.
I love Audible. I
All
listen to
about you.
Audible all the time.
No, but we do have a sponsor. It's audible.com. You can get a free audio book download. Oh my God, I'm not
That's a really
professional
tough
at this.
one.
I don't do this for a living, do
You're
I?
doing great.
And it's really fun because if you go to audibletrial.com/social,
Okay.
then they know
How you found him.
that how you found him, and that we did our jobs here. And there's just so many different novels. And ever since I mentioned to folks that we are an Audible, sponsored by us now, they're like, I love it, I love it, I love it. And I had a chance to play with this weekend when I was out of town, and I loved it. And I was just so excited that we
It's
that we can do that.
amazing. I've been doing Audible for a long time because Sarah from our office has had it, and I'm like, oh, I gotta try that. So I signed up. I'm even paying monthly, but for every month I get a free credit, and one credit is worth a book of your choice, no matter what the
That's
price is.
awesome.
So
That's
I got
great.
like 4 credits. So I got 4 free books coming out. I did The Martian. So good.
Is it
Yes.
really?
The book
Oh.
is better. I'm not going to watch the movie until after I'm done with the book.
No, I always read the book first because, and I'm just going to, Colleen, hit that. What's the code again one more time?
And we're going through here. It is www.audibletrial.com/social.
Okay, that's how you go and get it. Thanks to Audible
It's a
for
must.
bringing the show out to everybody and stuff. I have one before we leave the news segment of the Great Northern Sex Cast. a little bit of an editorial. And I need to get opinions, and I want you to weigh in on this. Okay, so obviously you guys know I live on a lake, right? And I am astounded at how recently people were still driving trucks out onto our lake. Okay. And, but that aside, on Sunday they were out there, and I'm watching these guys out there, and the augers with their big ice augers, and they were huge. I mean, these things were heavy and large and bigger than all the other rest of the equipment that they had dragged out there to fish. And they were also loud. Now, I'm not going to be a crankpot about that, but what I am going to say is I saw 2 different parties with giant augers drilling multiple holes. I don't think I ever did see them fishing. I just saw them out there drilling holes like crazy. And I'm sitting there going, okay, I don't get ice fishing absolutely at all. Because here's the thing. If you're going to go and drill a hole, you don't know if a fish is going to come by that particular hole. And then if you're in a lake, at least, you've got more space theoretically, to possibly float and drift, and a fish will come by. Yeah. I think the fun is drilling the fucking holes. And I'm thinking, well, if you like drilling, just go have sex. Because you know that if you put something in a hole, something's going to happen, at least not with the fishing. You never know. I mean, it seems waste to me.
I think they were probably just dicking around, because I think all of the fish houses had to be off the lakes in Minnesota this past week.
Yeah.
And it sounded like, I'm just going to guess, all men that were out there with the big drilling holes. Yeah,
go home and drill your.
So is it all men?
Oh, they were having fun before they had to put all their toys away.
They're aerating the lake, getting it ready for spring.
Sure. I've lived in Minnesota since I was 7 years old, and I have rarely, if ever, even walked onto a frozen lake. Even if I can physically see the ice on the really cold winters that it's like 3 foot thick, and there's all this stuff on there, and you've drawn that, it will never not freak me out. And I've never, I think one time eons ago I drank beer in an ice house. There was no fishing. And I do not understand. And especially this winter. We didn't have winter.
No, we really
had
didn't.
some random non-nice weather, but I wouldn't call it winter.
You're so correct. You're so PC.
But
random not nice weather.
But at no point did I feel that I can't imagine that someone thought it was even remotely safe to not only walk onto a lake because of all the freeze thaw we had, but to drive any vehicle out there whatsoever.
Unbelievable.
And I'm just like, oh my God.
I did skate on our lake this year.
Did you?
I did quite a bit. We've got some neighbors that snow blow some really cool trails onto the lake, and then we have some other friends that go and groom ski trails on our lake. It's pretty neat. I mean, so yeah, that was actually pretty damn fun, and it was smooth. I couldn't believe how smooth it was, for being just lake ice, and not in a rink.
I would have thought it would have been. I don't know. Aren't there cracks and bumpy?
No, I mean, and this guy snow blows it all sweet. Maybe that's why. But that was pretty damn fun. So
get a Zamboni out there.
I know, right? I'll be doing that next year. It was fun.
I want to drive the Zamboni.
Yeah. If you get one, let Colleen know. She'll come over and drive.
Okay, I know, and I think that they should just sell Zamboni rides. They could raise so much money for youth hockey doing that. Everybody that's ever wanted to do it would pay.
All ages welcome.
They would need bumper boards. People would make the turn. Boom.
Yeah.
Well, they should have one of those things where it's kind of like a ride where you're driving but you're not really driving. They've got the real Zamboni dude that's in there with the governor and the emergency brake and the kind of thing. Did you guys hear about the teacher in South Carolina who had the nude photos of basically hijacked from her phone by a student? Did you hear this story?
Yeah, I haven't been under a rock, so it's been everywhere.
Yeah, and so if you haven't heard it, just quick in a nutshell, she had her phone sitting on her desk. She stepped out for, I believe it was 4 minutes for hall monitor duty, left her phone. A student went up, opened up her phone, and got into her gallery, took pictures of the pictures in her gallery and hijacked her gallery and distributed everything, nude photos that she had taken for her husband, onto social media. She was forced to resign. A lot of people are calling to have her reinstated. She's not sure if she wants the job back. There's not yet been mention of consequences for this little shit who did this.
There should be.
The school needs to be sued. He needs to be sued. And his parents need to be sued because he invaded her personal stuff. He, once again, put on social media pictures of someone that he did not have permission to do.
Right.
And, I mean, personally, I would never put naked pictures on my phone, but that's just me. but if it's, you have, and I don't want to hear she should have had her phone on lock. I don't want to hear shit about that.
Yeah.
Because he went in and stole from her.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this is the school. The school needs to be sued for sexual harassment. He and his parents need to be sued for sexual harassment.
I think he needs to be charged.
Yeah. Why would you want to work someplace that immediately victimized you again? This is the same thing with Erin Andrews.
Right, I agree. Mm-hmm. I absolutely agree.
But she ought to sue their asses.
Oh, I would go after that family civilly so freaking hard, and push for criminal charges. But I mean, I just think that was an absolute abominable story.
Maybe the entire 7 billion people in this world should just take a nude picture of ourselves, put it out there, and then that's it. We're all done. Everyone's naked. We all have pretty much the same damn parts. There are boobs, there are asses, there's cellulite, there are nipples, there are scrotums. Mind you, folks, we have all this stuff. Okay?
That's what the internet's for.
It drives me insane.
Yeah.
I just hope that that this is going to be taken wrong on the show, but I hope there's a happy ending for that gal because I really feel bad for her. Oh, yeah. And I think that kid just really needs. Okay, if you can get, slammed on getting into college or have scholarships affected or anything else because you got caught at a beer party, underage drinking, why the hell shouldn't you suffer consequences for doing something like this that really hurts another human being's life? Okay, I'm done.
Expulsion or something. No. He's just getting away scot-free, so he's going to feel, and everybody else is going to feel like they can just do whatever they want.
I haven't seen any details. I saw some of the headlines, and I just went, what? Yeah, no. The school's going to lose, and they're going to lose big.
They should. They needed to back her up. Okay, so I don't get surprised very often, but so naked cooking, you guys. There's a story about. Well,
sorry,
you're in the minority.
Sorry.
You don't have to. But I'm telling you, it happens. Okay, this is pretty damn funny. This is there's a and I love it when companies do this stuff because they get publicity and I don't care, we get shit to talk about. But it's a meal delivery service called HelloFresh, and they said 15% of U.S. adults, which equivocates to roughly 36 million people, say that they have in fact cooked naked. There's lots of hot and sharp things in kitchens. I don't know. But they said 1 in 5 Americans said that somebody who cooks well is just as much of a turn on as someone who has a nice bod. What do you think of that?
That's kind of hot.
Oh yeah.
Well, your man's a cook, right?
Actually, I'm the cook.
He makes you dinner for.
Well, yeah, but that's the one. No, generally I'm the cook.
Okay.
But she posts some of her meals, so I would prefer her not be naked.
Yeah.
Right.
No. I was a cook as a kid. I've cooked all my life. No, there is hot oil. There are sharp implements. There's boiling water. There are just parts of my body I want covered near food.
I think it's a hot idea. Maybe we just wear one of those, what do you call it?
Aprons.
A little apron, but nothing else. Notice my butt will be exposed.
Yep.
I like that.
That actually is
going
cute.
home to make dinner.
I'm sorry, but one of my favorite outfits, and I mean, I've seen this. People have done it for Halloween costumes, but there's actually a place out in California, where I'm from, called Texas Lucy's, spelled Looseys, and all the girls that worked there, the female servers, wore like lace, underwear with lace across their butt, and then chaps and cowboy boots. So the legs were bare, and then they had like halter top. They were seriously cute outfits, and I mean,
that
the place
really
was
cool.
packed all the time. But there's a couple more stats in here that you guys might like.
Okay.
I thought this was fun. 66% of survey respondents think that cooking is an art that should be cultivated. Agree?
Oh, yeah.
Me too. 29% agree that cooking a fantastic meal can be better and more satisfying than sex.
I think in addition to sex, I think have a nice, great meal and then go, have sex.
The weirdest response from the survey was that 2% of the respondents answered that they did not know when asked if they ever cooked in the nude. Wouldn't you remember that?
I think you would remember.
I don't know. I'm just thinking.
I
don't remember.
I burned myself with hot oil the other day, and I rarely do stuff like that, but I wasn't paying attention for just a second, and I managed to, and I just like, I'm like, no, I mean, it was on my hand. if it would have dripped someplace else, no.
You know how that stuff blisters. I don't want to blister there.
No.
Well, let's start our own GN Sexcast raw food movement. I'm just saying. And you know what? Let's take another note and thank another sponsor. We actually have 2 sponsors right now. I'm so excited. FreshBooks, raw food to FreshBooks. This is really great for entrepreneurs or small business owners. This is kind of an accounting system online that lets you create and send really great looking invoices in seconds. And that's just the beginning. It will manage your expenses, stay on top of who owes you what, track your time, really just make everything a lot easier from an accounting standpoint. And you can use the camera on your phone to capture your receipts, and then FreshBooks will just create your expense reports from that, which how great is that? I mean,
I love it.
Every year the piles when I go to do my oh my God. Anyway, if you have any questions, they do have an actual FreshBooks support team and get real live human help. No phone trees. No, let me escalate that. I was told that this last week, and I'm like, I'll escalate your ass if you don't get me to a supervisor. And no, I'll get back to you. Just really good, helpful service. So you can go to and try FreshBooks for free for 30 days. So go to, okay, here's the website. gofreshbooks.com/alive. That's gofreshbooks.com/alive. And we thank them for being a sponsor of our network and our show. And give it a try if you need some accounting help. I know I do.
Oh, I do too.
I know. Okay. So 20 things to do sexually before you die.
Okay.
I would like to know what your opinions are on these particular things. Number 1 on the list, have a one-night stand. Is anybody going to admit to having done this?
I've
in the
tried
room?
to have one-night stands. They always turn out to be more.
I can't imagine. That just seems rather ordinary.
Yeah.
But a lot of
it just doesn't. Yeah, it just should. Yeah, a lot of times you're like, oh, that didn't work out, or going through there, or you're like, what's the big deal?
I heard a really, really steamy story from someone in the last week who was in a bad marriage and ended up revenge cheating on a business trip, and it's a fond memory for this person. So that was interesting, and I guess she fulfilled that particular one. It was kind of an interesting story, though, and aside from the marital infidelity aspect of the program,
well, there is that part.
Number 2 is participate in a threesome. I wish everybody could see the looks on your faces.
I suppose if it's on your bucket list, go for it.
Yeah.
I don't
If
know.
it's not on your bucket list,
Yeah, just
try it.
A lot of the stuff. Maybe we're jaded, but so far we're at 20 and 19, and I sell dildos for a living, but these don't seem. I'm like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
But nobody ever literally puts it under consideration. We know this stuff is out there, but it's like when you actually sit there, because I can see both of you looking up, wondering if you would do that or if you think that's a good idea.
Or if I should admit it.
Well,
it's just
Okay, this one's interesting. Put ice in your mouth. Well, okay.
Oh yeah.
And it talks about getting putting
Oral
it in your mouth.
sex.
Yeah. Okay, Michael
It's
owns
incredible.
that one.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, we used to have a little vibrator that you could.
We still have one. It's
the
a little
ice,
external, and it frees it up, and then it's incredible.
Okay. Have sex in the water, but not in a heated pool or jacuzzi or the ocean because of germs and jellyfish, of course. Anyone?
Okay, what is that? I guess that depends on the shower or the
lake. I guess a lake would, whatever.
That seems reasonable.
Have sex in public? Okay, it was fun. It was fun. I'll own up to that.
I'll
own up to that.
Yeah, once again, I think this is a lot of stuff that I don't think you just end up. It just ends up happening. Yes. I don't think you plan on it.
Right, but it's a good list to review to see what you've done and what you haven't done.
Spontaneous sex, and what's more exciting than spontaneous?
That's what seems
especially
to be
if security's on their way.
Exactly.
You can see them coming.
The chance of getting caught. It's like I know people that love doing it in elevators just to see if you can get from floor 1 to floor 5 with and everybody getting off
without stopping. Wear sexy lingerie. And this is more of a don't forget to do it kind of thing. Mm-hmm. So is the next one. Make foreplay a priority.
It should always be a priority.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I agree with that one.
Yes.
Okay, this one I think a lot of people have gotten on board with in recent years. Try anal play.
Yeah.
Judging by what we sell and the questions we get and everything going on, it seems to, and the fact that, I mean, like years ago, it used to have its own movie category. Now it's just part of it. That it's become very mainstream. Mm-hmm.
Michael's going to be a fan of the next one or a proponent of it. Stimulate a prostate.
Damn right.
Mm-hmm.
You got to. I'm telling you. It's going to solve so many problems, you know. When you get, like, I'm over 40 now, so it's yearly you have to have that prostate exam.
Yep.
It's like now I just expect it. And now I just get mine examined daily if I want. Everything look okay back there?
Do you actually know what you're looking for?
Well, I've been in this business long enough. I know if it's odd, then I know there's something wrong.
Okay. Mm-hmm. How about a prolonged sexcation? That's kind of cool.
That's definitely a cool thing. Go for it. Yes, no.
Dirty talk.
Yeah, I mean, I think I don't think you plan on it anyway. It just sort of happens, you know, depending on what's going on.
Dirty talk versus baby talk. I've had exes that did baby talk, and that was a big turnoff.
Yep.
Dirty talk. Yeah. Tell me what you want. Tell me how bad I am. Yeah.
You know what's funny about this is, there was a Sex in the City. There's a Sex in the City about just about everything. Okay, but there was one where Miranda's trying to learn how to talk dirty, and she's just so bad at it, and it took me a really long time to get. I went through that same thing, and it's not a common thing. But now, if I'm motivated, I can do it with conviction. The problem is you either have to be all in with it or not, because otherwise it's an epic fail.
Oh
That's
yeah,
an
no,
epic fail.
that's
Right?
it, definitely. I mean, if you're going for it, you go for it.
Yeah, you cannot be tentative with that.
Yeah, you can't say, "Fuck me hard now." Yeah, it just doesn't work. You got to get right in there.
But it's good to be verbal. It's good to be verbal. Just let it out.
Okay, this one's preposterous because this is one of those things that's kind of just have drunk sex. Yeah.
Unless you're
Yep.
unless you're a teetotaler, I've never had a beverage. I can't imagine someone.
And some guys, it's a little difficult because if you're having drunk sex, you're not going to probably get it
Whiskey
up.
dick.
Yeah, the things don't get up to full potential
maybe
when
it should
you're a
be
little hammered.
So I have a buzzed or
Just slightly
buzz
buzzed sex. It's it'll exhilarate it.
Okay, this one does crack me up, and there's a how-to that goes along with it. Ask him to edge. And which goes right to the brink and pull back.
Yeah.
And they give you a suggestion on how to get a guy to not come and hold off and yell no sperms.
So that's the code word. That's the
No
word.
sperms!
It's hard edging because you get too close. It's like, sorry, honey, I'm going.
It's
I'm
over.
going for it.
Yeah, 'cause you
There's
don't
no
wanna
turning
stop there.
back.
Oh, that one cracked me up. No sperms. And they wrote it out in plural, which makes me even laugh. That's grammatically incorrect, but very funny. Experienced tantric sex.
That's popular, actually. I think it's very erotica and everything.
I think isn't that related to the previous one?
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Sting kind of brought a lot of attention in the infamous quote of 8 hours of
Well, in the
sex.
tantric books and everything, there's a lot more pictures than wording, so you don't have to read. You can just look at a picture and mimic what they're doing. It makes it a lot easier. Who wants to read a book? I'm reading this prostate book. I'm losing it. I'm like, all right. I want pictures.
Role play. What do you think? Kind of fun.
I think a lot of people do that because they're just sort of, if you need to get out of your rut or you're in there's a lot of stuff going on. It's just a way to just tweak something a little bit.
Yeah, like that commercial is really funny. As he comes to the door with the hose around us, I'm here to clean your pool, and she's like, but I don't have a pool. They're trying to do role playing and everything. It's just hilarious. But we get a lot of role playing. That's why we sell a lot of our staple outfits, like the nurses or any of the I hate to say it, the maid outfit, the French maid, is very popular in role playing. But why do you want to see somebody clean? It's beyond me.
That is a really good question. How that became such a thing.
I don't know. That's not such a turn on.
Yeah.
No, I know a lot of folks that will pick each other up in bars.
Oh, that could be exciting.
Like they're already a couple?
Yeah, they're already a couple, and it's going through there.
That would be
exciting. And they have fun
exciting.
if someone gets there before the other one. And
Okay.
they'll hit
That's
them on or
cute.
something like that.
That's
and it's
cute.
just sort of fun.
I like that.
I like that too. Number 16, what? Touch yourself? Okay, sure. Yep.
Isn't that a song?
Depends on how you want to touch yourself.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there are folks out there that still don't masturbate.
That is sad.
That are just have a mental block on it for whatever social or religious or shame reasons and stuff like that.
Sometimes you just got to take it into your own hands, It's getting done right.
Here.
Am I?
The next one is don't have sex at all. Take a sex break. If it's feeling stale, hold off for a little bit and make
Build
yourselves
up.
want it, build up, and
We
go.
call that build up. So
Yeah, I think most folks end up doing that non-voluntarily.
Yeah, because daily life, it's like, oh, I don't have time this week, or you get so preoccupied. It's like all of a sudden it's 2 weeks. It's like, oh, I'm so sorry. I know we had our marriage agreement, and it's going to be every 7 days or within 7 days, but kind of outside of that.
Number 18 is perplexing to me. Have sex on a carousel.
The bumping up and down, maybe?
Unclear, but it says make sure no babies or squirrels are watching. Babies are traumatized easily, and squirrels are known perverts.
Where
Where are you going to find a carousel without a bunch of kids on
that
it?
seems like they're just stretching. They're just, I mean, they came up with the title, and then they had to come
up with
Yeah.
number 20.
I can understand the premise of it, with the horses going up and down, that great motion, but make your own motion,
Right?
Right.
And watch out for the ceiling fan, Michael.
Oh no,
I'm just saying.
yeah.
Anybody who's heard the show knows what I'm talking
I
about.
know. That's why I told my parents not to listen. There's things you don't want to know. Don't listen.
Right. 19 and 20, pretty mundane. Watch porn together. Yeah, it's effective.
It
was fun.
does.
Yeah, I mean, it does work.
Yeah, but me and my husband's never watched porn. He does not like porn. We're in this porn business, and I enjoy porn, but he does not. But that's not what's going to get us going, get us on. So we don't watch porn together.
Well, you know what I thought was funny? Last Friday night, we went out with our friends, our neighbor friends, and they happened to be a lesbian couple. Great ladies, super cool people, more damn fun. And we were somehow talking about, I remember what we were talking about, and the show came up, and they're like, we need some new porn. And I'm like, really? Well, what are you after? And they're like, not lesbian porn. And I went, what? And they're like, yeah, it sucks.
Yeah,
There's no good lesbian porn, according to them. And I'm like, I don't know, because I haven't really. But they're like, no, we want regular hetero porn. Can you get us some good stuff? And I said, sure.
I got the hookup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought that was interesting.
Yeah,
know
there's
somebody.
a lot of the lesbian porn is lesbian for pay. And it's a male.
What do you mean by that?
It's a male heterosexual version of just two good-looking women going at it.
Okay.
It's not actual lesbians having sex.
Oh.
And so there are, there are,
I get it.
yeah,
Okay.
it's much more of a male fantasy than it is what to women, than produced by women for women.
Okay.
It's going through there.
Well, how has nobody filled that gap?
Well, no, it's out there, but it also tends to be just like it's a specialty thing. It tends to be more expensive, and there's only so much
Yeah.
going through there.
It's a difference. I think that was the one we were talking about at our meeting where it's not scripted. It's I don't remember the word Megan used on it, but yeah.
Okay.
We're going to see about getting some more of that into our stores too. So
Okay. Well, I got to find some good stuff for the gals, so help me figure out some titles. The last one is just massage each other. Remember to go and do that and make the effort and really get into it, and don't just do it because the other one begs you to, which I thought was okay. One other thing, we're going to post the link for this last. I thought this was interesting. The title I put on our outline was "Yanking Yourself Out of Depression." There's actually an article that is called "You Can Masturbate Your Way Out of Depression," according to science. And it gives actual, reasons and background, not just the hormones that you create, serotonin, oxytocin, and things like that, but it's a justification for this working for people. What are your thoughts?
Well, like I said, because of the chemicals, and if you're paying attention to yourself in one way, I can't imagine it would be the only thing, but I can't imagine that it would hurt. I mean,
I agree.
taking care of yourself is, I can see it being one part of it. I have to admit, there's so much involved in it, and I know so many people that deal with daily, this on a daily issue, that it, in and of itself, and unless I read it, it just seems a little too simplistic. But as a part of it is self-care. I mean, because you have to worry about self-care in a lot of different ways.
Just the feeling of relief definitely helps too. Just telling you, if you're all stressed out or anything, a good rub out definitely eases everything, makes you feel a lot better.
Okay, well, we're going to put the article up, and you can judge for yourselves, audience. You guys, super fun always. The crew's back together. Audible.com. We want you to remember to go to audibletrial.com/social, audibletrial.com/social, and also check out FreshBooks. And they are at gofreshbooks.com/alive. That's gofreshbooks.com/alive. Again, thanks to for the letter we got from Jenny this last week. And find us on iHeartRadio, Facebook, and at aliveandsocial.com. Have a good week, guys.
Have a great week, too.
Bye.